What's that, Tim? You hate the Democrats? Does that mean you literally hate every single Democrat? No, of course not, but I think it's pretty obvious to everybody. I really don't like the Democrats for a lot of reasons. And it's a damn shame that you basically have to align with them if you want to run for the president or for office. DNC raises eyebrows for snubbing Tulsi Gabbard from 2020 Unity ad featuring other candidates. Why, yes. They did some Democrat unity thing. Tulsi Gabbard was not included. I don't necessarily know why, but I do know the Democrats have Tulsi derangement syndrome. Let me read you the story, and then I want to highlight a comment from Kyle Kalinske and Cenk Uygur. That's right, progressives, who are calling out the Democrats for being lunatics. And I can really respect and appreciate that, even though they're not big fans of Tulsi either. The Young Turks really aren't fans of her. But what I can't stand is the establishment BS. You know what the issue is? I would like to have someone like Tulsi at least get a chance. I donated to Tulsi so she could be at the debate, so she could speak her mind, and she did, and I'm grateful. But the Democrats, it's very clearly this fall in line cult-like behavior, and if you don't do it, they kick you out. Now, Andrew Yang, who I also donated to, is in this ad, and I can respect that, fine. But you look at how the media treats him. MSNBC has excluded him nonstop. They use old polls to smear Bernie Sanders. The Democrats are a disgusting mess. Not a big fan of Bernie as much anymore, but you gotta recognize if you're a Bernie supporter, the DNC's full of it. Bigger fan of Yang, even bigger fan of Tulsi. And I think no matter where you fall on which of these more outsider candidates you like, you can see the Democrats are completely full of it. And I'm getting sick of it. Let's read the story from Fox News. They say, the Democratic National Committee made a glaring omission from its new ad campaign urging unity among 2020 candidates. It's kind of funny they're doing an ad called Unity and excluding Tulsi, but it's entirely possible. Look, I'll be fair. Maybe Tulsi said she didn't want to be in it. I don't know. I doubt it, but maybe. She also didn't want to go to the debate. They say a new fundraising effort launched on Monday for the DNC's Democratic Unity Fund features 10 presidential hopefuls taking turns reading the same message. The ad includes, they read everybody, okay? Except Tulsi. I'm running to be your nominee. But no matter who ends up on that stage as our nominee in the convention, we need the whole Democratic Party to unite if we want to take back the White House and win seats all across the country and deliver a presidency consistent with our democratic values. Oh, the values of playing crooked media games and rigging primaries so that real candidates with real policies that actually are at least somewhat popular don't have a chance. Okay, sure, let's read on. Unity is what this moment in history demands of us right now, because the stakes have never been higher. As Democrats, we know there is so much more that unites us than divides us. And next year, we have the opportunity to make sure that our shared values are represented. Oh, I know what unites all of you, save Yang, war! Because for some reason, it's the only thing Democrats can ever really rally around along with the media. They say, however, many observers noticed other 2020 candidates were missing from the ad, primarily Rep. Tulsi Gabbard, who is doing particularly well in the presidential primary. Now, look, I'm a realist. I don't think she's going to win the primary, especially with all this nonsense from the Democrats. But she's got, I think, hundreds of thousands of donors. She raised tons of money. You can't pretend like she doesn't have supporters. But they are, and they're erasing her because, as you know, the Democrats cheated in 2016. Don't be surprised, and I'll do it again. And this is exactly why they lose voters to Donald Trump. Not the only reason, but at least a big one. They say, Gabbard has ruffled feathers in the Democratic Party in recent weeks by carrying on a fiery feud with former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who suggested that the Hawaii congresswoman was being groomed by the Russians. She also angered party leaders by voting present on last week's articles of impeachment against President Trump. But critics pointed out how the ad included Devil Patrick, who polled at 0% in the latest Fox poll. So Devil Patrick gets included, but Tulsi Gabbard does not? The Hill chief Washington correspondent Sagar Enjeti asked. Strange, a certain woman of color is missing from the video, journalist Michael Tracy reacted. Democrats come together in unity to exclude Tulsi. The Nation contributor Aaron Matei, might I add, two of which are actually kind of lefties. Yeah, we can all see how the game is played, man. So you know what's funny? In response to stories like this, there's so many conservatives who are like, Tim, when are you gonna, take the red pill and vote for Trump or whatever? No. Just because the Democrats are trash doesn't mean the Republicans are perfect or good or worth my vote. But I'll tell you this. Republicans didn't cheat Trump. And I'll stick to my guns on this one. They did not like Trump. The establishment still does not like Trump. And the old crony Republican establishment didn't want him to win. But guess what? They didn't cheat. So I'll respect them for that, but I don't agree with them. So you know what ends up happening? Me seeing someone I can respect, like Tulsi, and yes, like Yang, I know. I see how the Democrats play this game, and this is what you get when you're a Democrat voter who doesn't fall in line with their weird, creepy cult of Hillary Clinton. They say the Gabbard campaign did not immediately respond to Fox News for comment. Other candidates not featured in the ad include former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro, former Congressman John Delaney, Senator Michael Bennet, and spiritual guru Marianne Williamson, sure. And perhaps it's because they all did this during the Democratic debate. It's fine. It's not so much about this one moment, okay? It's about the constant getting bashed over the head by the media where they lie, they cheat, and they steal. Mad props to Mr. Kyle Kalinske, I believe is a good dude. I like this guy. He says, I don't agree with Tulsi's vote because she voted president on impeachment. But this backlash is hilarious overkill. If only these idiots cared as much about war crimes and healthcare as they do about a symbolic fail vote, maybe we could have nice things. And this is why I like Kyle Kalinske. And you can see that I retweeted and liked this tweet. He said, why didn't you play along with our fake resistance? And then he swears. Okay. Seriously, imagine former Democratic leaders angrily demanding politician X step down for supporting an illegal war or opposing Medicare for all. That would be glorious. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me address the politics here with Mr. Kalinske. I like the idea of Medicare for all. I don't know if we can get there, so I'm not one to take the idealistic vote. I'm more likely to take the realistic vote of, a step towards a public option, lowering drug prices and compromise. That's fair. But he brings up a really good point about war. Imagine if everybody who voted for the war in Iraq couldn't run again, and people were like, we're going to snub you, we're not going to cover you, and we're going to demand your resignation. Think about this. This is what he's responding to. Former Hawaii Democratic governor calls on Gabbard to resign. Are you kidding me? Is this a joke because she voted for president? And this is really interesting. Check this out. Michael Tracy then asks Kyle Kalinske, they have a good conversation. Tracy says, curious, did you read the full articles of impeachment and the Judiciary Committee report laying out the rationale behind them? Do you really think Trump committed treason to help Russia? Because that's what you'd have to be affirming if you voted yes on the first article. Kyle says, no, that's not what I believe, as you already know. But Trump absolutely withheld aid for personal political gain, and that's an abuse of power. He says that I'm against the aid as policy is irrelevant. I've already stated I'd vote yes on Article 1 and no on Article 2. Michael's response is, but the point is, the article was explicitly worded such that accusing Trump of committing treason on behalf of Russia. Okay, so we get the point of what Michael is saying. I completely respect Tulsi Gabbard's present vote because I disagree with her assessment about Trump's wrongdoing and Kyle's. So he disagrees with Tulsi, but then check this out. This woman says, I think while one can disagree with her vote, they can absolutely agree with the principles she stated and how this impeachment process was never about holding Trump accountable, but to gain a win for the Dems. Otherwise, we would have impeached over violating war power resolutions or AUMF. I would argue impeachment was a distraction as the Dems shoved through an obscene military budget, NAFTA 2.0, and pharma patent giveaways during the exact same time period. Hey media, look, a squirrel. Here's what I love right now. You know what's unifying the left and the right, the populists, the people who actually care about policy? It's the corrupt, crony Democratic establishments, the last vestige of the ivory tower being knocked down. I would rather have a conversation with Kyle Kalinske about why I think he's wrong because I'll put it this way. You know who I'd rather sit down with and debate? You know who I would absolutely rather vote for? I'd rather vote for Kyle's, pick than one of these crony establishment liars who cheat just to win because they want the keys to the castle. I disagree with Kyle on policy, but at least I can see he's got some integrity. And I'll even give a shout out to Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks, who I actually have much more disagreements with. And I'm not trying to be mean here, but I absolutely would question Cenk's integrity, okay? Not completely, I'm not saying he's a completely bad guy, but I have some questions. I think there are some issues of him not doing enough due diligence. However, regardless of what you think about Cenk, when the media, when establishment try and play these BS games to cheat, they deserve to be called out. Cenk tweeted, the executive director of the California Democratic Party, Chris Myers, just joined the Bloomberg campaign. These are all of the people aligned against me in the CDP. For these corrupt corporate Democrats, there's only one thing that matters, the money. While I am no fan of Cenk Uygur, because I think he's put out some bad information, I mean, in terms of the Covington kids and in terms of me and then him yelling at me, I will absolutely defend him when corporate cronies try to lie, cheat, and steal because they're afraid they can't beat him. Keeping in mind, Michael Bloomberg ordered his news outlet not to investigate Democrats. That's the machine we're playing against. And I'm really, really frustrated by all of this. So look, I'll tell you, the Democrats, they piss me off, plain and simple. But you know why I am not backing down? For the same reason Tulsi isn't. Because it's about time someone stood up and actually challenged it. Okay, there's a lot of noise here. I'm really sorry. I'm going to wrap this one up. I'll see you in a few minutes in the next segment.